Good morning. We're here doing Barn Banter today with two ladies. I'll explain to you the purpose of today's Barn Banter, but we're at Findlay, Ohio. We're showing, and with me today is Joni Ames and Lori Hartman. And I sit and watch. These two ladies are very, very good friends, and they both show in the elite division for Pinto. And I sit sometimes and watch not just what happens in the arena, but what happens in the makeup pens. And generally before any given class, first of all, their two horses are in love with each other, even though they're both geldings. Eldine and Eli absolutely love spending time with each other. So that attracts the fact that these two ladies spend a lot of time sitting and chatting outside the arena. And so they're friends, and then they go into the arena, and these two ladies are right now number one and number two in the country in their division, their elite division. So they have to kind of put their little friendship, go in and compete against each other and come back outside the pen and be friends again. And that's what's most important, is that they are good friends. So I want the two of them to kind of talk a little bit about what showing horses with your friends is like, and how do you compete and put that aside. So both of them have had, Lori, I believe, is a counselor. You were a counselor?
School counselor.
School counselor. She's now retired. And Joni is a bus driver. And so she deals with children all the time. So both of them have dealt a lot with younger kids. And now as they're adults, elite adults, or queenagers, we would, they're experiencing the things that are important to them in life. So how do you, a little bit about maybe where your friendship came from, how long you've been friends?
How long have we been friends?
I don't know. You were a client of mine first.
I think I was, yes.
I make show clothes. I sewed a show. So I had made Lori back in the day when she had Polly
Yes.
a showmanship jacket, and then I have made you some things since then. And you're riding in my clothes now, which I appreciate.
You're welcome.
So I don't know. Sometimes you just click with people.
Oh, it's true. And I think that we have had some communication outside, like the Facebook messaging. We find either funny memes that we just randomly send each other.
Yeah,
or,
and it's not all the time.
No.
Every now and then something will pop up. And she's like, I thought of you. And then I'm like, I thought of you. And I think we decided that if we had worked together in the same school system,
Yeah.
we would have worked really well together, because because there are times when, I tell her stories and she's like, oh my gosh,
That's my kid.
Yeah.
That's my kid that I work with.
Yeah. So that has been most enjoyable, and I will say that the clients that I sew for, I would put them all on my friends list. There is not people that I get. I want to make things for people that I enjoy being around, and she's very good about just saying, just make me this.
Put it in this color.
Yes.
Usually.
So we're going to do a red outfit, a red shirt for Color Breed Congress, and looking forward to making that for her. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, you just click. There's just people you gravitate towards.
Yeah.
That just have your same outlet,
I never really have to worry about Joni. I never look behind me. It's not like a stab in the back ever. I never have felt that from her. I've always felt like what she says is exactly what she means. And that's what I really appreciate that. Like, you don't always get that
No.
in people.
No.
And I think about Taylor Swift and the decades thing, right? Like, for me, coming to this place in elite where you can be good friends with people that you go in the pen with, has been decades in building, right? When you're in your 20s, you're like, I gotta win it all. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna beat her. I hope her horse was trip. And then you get to your 30s and you're like, maybe we don't need to be quite so bad about that.
Yeah.
But as you get older, I just think that things are much more in perspective about what showing is about. And it's about not just the horses, but the people that are around us. And I really enjoy Joni. And so we will stand and talk a long time while we're waiting for classes. We laugh a lot. We stand back there and laugh. I think it's good before we go in the pen to be that comfortable and relaxed going into these. I don't know if I think about Joni as not a friend when we're in the pen. I just go in and ride my ride and then come out and I was like, how was your ride? So I just really, it's part of the deal for me for horse showing. I wouldn't love horse showing without it.
I agree. When I came back to this, 5 years ago, basically, I started back in the walk jog division. I was a little snotty about it to my sister. I showed cutting horses, so I have 5 figures of earnings in the cutting world. So I didn't think I belonged in that division. So I thought that, I can't go in that walk jog division. And then I sat at the World Show and I sat with her and I saw, and that was before they broke it down to the 3, the junior, senior, and elite. And I sat with her and I'm watching these horses go and I'm like, well, that's an old world champion pleasure horse right there. And that's a world. And I'm like, well, those people show big time. And I got a little humble. It definitely humbled me coming back. And when you come back to something that you used to do and you were kind of good at it as a youth, but you takes you notches down, and in your mind you have to work really hard to strive to not get in your head. And having friendships outside the pen, I think, is one of the things that allows you to build your confidence. And Miss Lori is a tough competitor, and she's somebody that when you come back, you look for the people that, and you look for the people, who do I have to beat? Who do I have to get around? And she has a fantastic little horse that I love her horse, and I admired her coming back because I wanted to emulate the people that I knew were good. So I watch, they don't realize that I sit out and I watch them. I watched her trail go. She and her horse are very, very good at trail, and I am not. And much to my brother-in-law's dismay. But I watch them in trail, and she doesn't know that, like, when that horse strides out over those, I'm riding it with her. I'm like, and before she went in her class, at this show, I'm like, Lori, look at your chaps. I'm over there sweeping sawdust off her chaps. And I'm like, she's like, I'm a mess. I'm like, well, that's what I'm here for. You know, so I think when you, like you said, when you show when you're younger, there's a level of competitiveness that you don't allow the true friendships to come out. And then as you get a little bit older, your perspective of showing changes. And you go and you show for much different reasons. Now, I'm not going to say I don't want to win. I'm going to ride every single class like I want to win it. But I am going to ask everyone that I care for, you know, did you have a good go? You know, and then, you know, and we bounce back and forth. Like you forgot to back once.
A couple of times perhaps.
I forgot to back at Worlds.
Yeah.
You know, we have awesome.
It's what brings us together.
That's right. It's the common unity of sometimes we're like, well, what the heck did we just do? You know, and I think that I would encourage anyone that has a dream to come back. I hadn't shown pleasure horses in 30 years, and I came back. So I think the elite division is probably what I consider almost the most fun.
Yeah.
You're going to get the most laughter. You're going to get, you know, I won't tell you the things that we talk about in the makeup pen. Some are appropriate, some are not. Some are aging. You know, what do you do for this? And you know, I think that being an elite has been some of the most fun I have had at a horse show. I think we all want to win,
Yeah.
but man, we really pick each other up too.
Yeah.
When you,
We went to the show. We were at last in Shiawassee. I watched Joni's showmanship pattern. I don't normally. One of the things I do to stay out of my head is I don't watch a lot of the competitors. I'll watch a few the class before or something, but I don't watch people in my class because it gets in my head.
Mm-hmm.
On that day, I made the mistake and I watched Joni's go, and I saw her come around this trot, a trot angle, a big trot angle, and her horse was just so beautiful. And the thought in my head was, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get around that. And so after the class, I went down to the stalls and said that to her. I'm like, I made a mistake. I watched you, but
Yeah.
man, it was so pretty. So, I mean, it's fun to be able to appreciate each other.
yeah, I think that's the difference in the elite division. And you know, like you watch doing trail, I stand there and I'm like, oh, that was so nice. Your first pattern was really good, and then your horse was like, no.
He's like, I got it.
I got it.
Just sit there.
That's what Doug told Joni. He says now he's on autopilot and this isn't gonna go as well.
Nope, your husband's like, this this one's not gonna go so good because now he knows the pattern.
But he didn't always memorize the pattern because he went through
Well,
the
he
box.
did.
And I was like, dude, this is the stuff in the box. Remember, we just did that.
Well, you know, he's got a little eliteness in him too.
Right.
He's got a little Oz
You know, I guess as I'm sitting and listening to the two of you talk, and you know, advice to anybody that is thinking about showing, you know, find a place where you fit. Find a place where you find friends, because God knows you two are spending more than just grocery money on keeping your horses and going to the horse shows. And you know, it's important that when you get done at the end of the weekend, that you have great memories and smiles, and you don't go back to your trailer and complain to your husband or your sister that you've had an awful day and you're crying and we have to pick you up. You know, I mean, you guys are laughing, and when I watch you in the makeup pen, you know, you really are just having life's moments, and that's what you all work for, to have life's moments. So, but it is, you know, to watch these two ladies, I wish them both the best of luck as they continue their little journey. I'm certain that here through the next few months, we're going to see one number 1, one number 2. The next time the postings come out, it's going to go the other way. So, you know, this is one of those roulette wheel crapshoots. We'll see how it ends up at the end of the year. But, you know, I wish you both luck. Lori, I guess I didn't realize what brought you back to showing, because you took some time off for a while, didn't you?
Well,
Short time off.
Yeah, well, so I was in, I changed horses. I showed him just lightly, this one that I have now. And then I think the pandemic came around, so I didn't show it all that year. And then I decided I was just not, I didn't feel like I was in the right place. There was nothing wrong with where I was. I just didn't feel like it was the right place for me anymore. And so I found a new barn, a new trainer. And so it takes a little while when you get into a different place to get back on the road and do the things that you were doing. So I feel really good about both where I am in my training situation, but also I do like this association quite a lot. I've liked Pinto quite a lot. It feels more back to my roots in some strange way.
I agree.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you and I first became friends and acquaintances, you know, this is what we showed paint horses together.
Yeah.
And this is what showing paint horses was like.
Yeah.
The numbers, you know, you had some great horses, but you had a whole lot of just really nice horses. In the family environment. And so I just feel like right now we find that same environment here in the Midwest showing Pinto.
I do too, yeah. We talked about this when we were eating dinner last night. It was like the old days. There was a huge group of people sitting around one person's trailer, and somebody had made dinner, and we were all just yucking it up and having fun, and that's where the memories are made too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You know, I mean, a long time ago, I was talking to a trainer and her niece. It was Suzetta Busby, and Suzetta's niece was running for #1 youth, and it was in the fall, and she didn't come to the Congress, paint Congress, and so I knew she was giving up #1. And Suzetta looked at me and said, "You tell me who was #1 last year."
Yeah.
And this was about October, so it shouldn't have been that long, and I couldn't. And that was a real understanding for me that this really is not about the placings. This is really about the memories and the people that you're going to re-see or, you know, keep in contact with through real friendships or social media friendships. But the ride that you have in any given year is just for the short run. It's the people
Yeah.
that are for the long run.
I've told people before too, like that were running for #1, and they would be discouraged because they were not getting the points they wanted. And I'd say to them, your horse is just as good today as it was before when it was #1. It is the same really good horse. So, like for me, that's another thing that I try to keep in mind. But it's a neat title and all, right? But the real thing is that you've got a super cool horse and super cool people. And,
Right. And honest to goodness, you know, I mean, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
You know, I mean, it is truly ups and downs. In any given set of judges, you know, just how your horse is feeling on the weekend. So, you know, don't ever just like feel defeated because at this particular show or something you didn't quite have the results that you wanted.
Right.
Just gather your spirit up, enjoy your friends, and see you at the next horse show.
For sure.
So, all right, well, I'm going to let everybody go. We're going to start showing here in a little bit. So I really appreciate the two of you. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll have another one at the end of the year and see how it ended up, and you guys can talk about the memories of the year. So if you like us, we hope you subscribe to us on YouTube and wait for more Barn Banters. We've got some more coming up next weekend, and you're going to meet some more clients. So good morning. Bye.